Living alone in Philadelphia, a disturbed man developed a sinister plan. The outside world knew him as Brother Bishop, but under the floor of his church were several women held against their will. Born November 22, 1943, in Eastlake, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland. His parents divorced when he was still a baby. Gary and his younger brother Terry would be raised by his father and stepmother. As a child, Heidnik was humiliated by his father because he suffered from chronic bedwetting. His father would hang the sheets outside the window so everyone could see. At school, Heidnik did not interact well with the other students. He was bullied for his odd-shaped head, a result of falling out of a tree when he was young. At age 17, he dropped out of high school and joined the army. Heidnik excelled in this environment and even applied for some specialist roles but was rejected. In 1962, Heidnik began experiencing severe headaches, dizziness, blurred vision, and nausea. He was diagnosed with gastroenteritis. The neurologist who examined him also noted that Heidnik displayed symptoms of mental illness and prescribed him antipsychotic medication trifluoprazine. Later in the year, Heidnik would be admitted to a military hospital in Philadelphia and diagnosed with schizoid personality disorder. The hospital honorably discharged him, thus ending Heidnik's military career. After his discharge, Heidnik became a licensed practical nurse and enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania. He only lasted a single semester. In '67, he worked as a nurse in the Elwyn Institute, a hospital for undeveloped adults and children. For years, Heidnik and his younger brother would spend time in and out of psychiatric hospitals, both attempting suicide multiple times. 1971, a now 28-year-old Heidnik formed a church, United Church of the Ministers of God. He was known as Brother Bishop to his 5 followers. Heidnik opened a bank account in the church's name with a $1,500 initial payment. The bank account would amass to a staggering $500,000 through Heidnik's ventures in the stock market. At one of the institutions he worked at, Heidnik met Anjanette Davidson. She was a patient at the hospital, as was her sister, Alberta. Together, Heidnik and Anjanette would have a daughter. The daughter was taken into foster care due to Anjanette's mental disabilities. In 1978, Heidnik signed Alberta out of the institution for a day and held her against her will in his basement. There, he sexually assaulted and sodomized her. Eventually, she would be found shackled in his house and taken back to the institution. Heidnik was arrested and spent 3 years of his incarceration in mental institutions. He was released after 4 years in April 1983. A year later, he bought 3520 North Marshall Street. From this location, he ran the church, and his following began to grow. Heidnik would go on to meet his future wife, Betty Disto, through an ad he posted in the newspaper. In 1985, Disto arrived from the Philippines. The two would then marry in Maryland the following month. The marriage began to spiral downward after Disto caught Heidnik sleeping with a variety of other women. Heidnik forced her to take part. He was charged with spousal rape and physical assault. With the help of the local Filipino community, she was able to leave him. In their short time together, Heidnik had actually impregnated Disto. She gave birth to Jesse John Disto that year. With Disto gone, Heidnik was now alone, and soon he would seek his first victim.